first off, we saw how to create a multiple scene project so that your documents can jump from scene to scene. Now, when you do the projects, another important bit of information you should know, which ACA exams will ask you as well, which is about publishing your Flash document. Publishing means, in the context, what kind of format of Flash animation you want to use in your project. If it is SWF, you don't have to do anything. We just test our movie, Control Enter, or just by going to the Control menu, test movie, and it will export your FLA file into SWF format. Right? Now that SWF movie, you can use it in Dreamweaver and publish it in Explorer or any internet browser, so they will play that as it is. But there are some other formats in which we can publish Flash documents other than just SWF. Okay, so we need to see those multiple options. For example, right now in my Flash folder, I have that city scene drawing, which is SWF. That's my FLA, and this will work in terms of adding this animation in the website point of view. But if I go back to the same FLA file, this is my actual file. You go to the File menu, and under the File, you have Publish Settings. Okay, you open this Publish Settings, and there are various formats in which we can publish Flash documents. There are 3 different tabs for Formats, Flash, and HTML. Under the Formats tab, you will see this different kind of types in which we can publish a Flash document. Now, by default, SWF and HTML is clicked. Right? Means if I just publish by clicking on this button right now, I will get SWF and I will get .html file automatically created, having that animation in it. So you don't have to do even any HTML. So these are only 2 types. You can see you can publish Flash as a GIF animation file. Okay, you can produce a JPEG out of Flash files. Very, very rarely used because we don't convert vector graphics of Flash into JPEG bitmaps, because you're going to lose quality of Flash. Okay? But in any case, if you care, you need to know there's a compatibility between 2. Apart from these image formats like JPEG, GIF, and PNGs, these other types you can export your Flash documents is converting them into Windows projector, which is .exe file, and you can publish Flash file as Macintosh projectors, which is Mac exe version. The Mac has .app as an extension to its exe files. Now, what these exe files actually do is they carry the Flash player in the file itself. Sometimes when you send your SWF files to your friends or your family and they say they cannot open the file, it doesn't work because they don't have Flash player installed in their computers. Okay? Because SWF don't carry Flash players. SWF carries its own movie formats. But when we convert any SWF or any Flash file into projector formats, exe or app, they just work by double click. They don't need to have the people, those who want to see the file, they don't need to install Flash, they don't need to have a Flash player. It just worked absolutely superb, because they carry the Flash player inside the whole exe version. Okay, quite useful. Normally when you do the projects, I would expect you to publish your Flash projects in exe. So tomorrow if I check it on any of the computers in the college, I shouldn't be worrying too much, as long as I have exe. The Saudi project which I've shown you, the one I created last week, that's also exe. So when I send that to the clients, I don't even say an SWF, I send an exe. The other advantage of publishing it into projector files is clients or anyone else cannot modify your file. Exe can be only open as exes by double click. You cannot open exes in Flash or in Explorer or in any other formats. So they cannot play around with your files. Okay. For that reason, I'm just going to choose these 2 formats as well, which is publishing Flash into various other formats. Now, once you select those formats, as many you want for your file, You just click on this publish button, and you will see Flash will publish the whole file into various formats. If I'll go to my folder, you see that? That's the HTML version of the same Flash movie. There is exe version. Can you see that? City scene drawing with a little square exe version. That's for I know because it has a Flash player in it, and it looks a different icon as well as FLA, SWF, and that's exe version. And for the app versions, you don't see it straight away. There's a folder Flash creates for you. So when you double click on this .app folder, it has contents and all these things which is compatible for Mac machines. Okay, so you can literally open your files in exe format for Mac. Now for exe version, this is where you can also identify the difference in two. City scene drawing, this is .swf. Do you see that? 6 kilobytes. And the exe, where's the exe? That's the exe. Right click on the exe, properties. Was it 4 meg? Yeah, there you go. 4 megabit. If I test the file, that's your SWF, and that's your exe. Yes, absolutely no difference in two files. But one is actually executable file, which will work on every single computer, regardless of Flash players have it or not. SWF will only work in a browser which has a Flash player. Okay? But the difference in two is in the file sizes. In exe, it actually carries the Flash Player 10 version inbuilt. So where is just a plain SWF, which is 6 kilobytes, and where is exe, which is 4.0 megabytes. Means if I'll minus 6 kilobytes from 4.04, the leftover size is actually just your Flash player. Okay. So EXEs we cannot publish on browsers. EXEs are only made for desktop computers. So when you just double click, they just play on your computers straight away. This is something which you should always know, publishing and what's the difference in two. The other thing you should know when you work with Flash publishing is, apart from formats, there's a tab for Flash. Now, some videos also on YouTube, when you check, they will say you need to upgrade your Flash player to 11.0 version or something like that. That's what happened because sometimes when you do Flash documents, you publish them based on whatever Flash player you have by default selected. Okay. Now, if I have Flash Player 10 file published right now, tomorrow when I go home, or you send this file to your friend, if they have a browser which has Flash Player 8 installed in there, your SWF will not play there. It will give the message saying not compatible with the Flash player you have, so please upgrade it. So this way, if you go to the publish settings, you can actually change the version of your Flash player you're publishing your document. Now if I just change it to Flash player, see, it gives you up to Flash player 1, which is the oldest Flash player. If I just do Flash player 8, let's say, and then if I'll publish the file, it will publish all those 4 formats which we have just created, but this time they will change the player to Flash player 8. Now it will have some problems because it's not correctly installed, but generally it will publish that file with the Flash player 8 in the exe. Even SWF, it will publish as per Flash player 8 settings. So in tomorrow, if you upload it online, all the browsers will show it without even upgrading the player version. ACA sometimes ask you these kind of questions. How can you change the Flash Player version? So they will show you Flash, and you will have to identify where to go, how to change. So make sure you know how to change Flash Player versions just by going into the Publish settings. Okay. We can even change the action script versions to 1.2 to 3.0 depending on what kind of Flash Player versions we have. It gives you 3 also for 10, like that. Some other formats it also gives you. We can have MP3 audio streams you can change. We can give a security password so that someone cannot open the EXEs without the passwords you have, and so on. So there are a lot of features in public settings. The third tab you have is HTML tab. Now for this, we can have HTML publishing only Flash, and we can have a detect Flash Player version. Okay, so when this file will get open with the Flash Player 10, the website will show the warning that this file is made in Flash Player 10 version. So make sure you have the 10 version, like that. So you can provide more or less setting to detect the Flash version. It will detect the version which you have in your computers. Okay, it's quite a good feature if you are uploading Flash files in the website, because you don't know people who's checking your website what version of Flash Player they have. You don't know that. So it's good for you to detect whatever versions they have and instruct them that you need to upgrade your Flash players. Okay. So we can detect, we can change Flash Player versions from here, and in the formats we can actually select in which particular format we want to publish. Now this is just publish settings. So if I just keep it as it is, if I make a change in my Flash file, you can again go back to the same menu of file, and you don't need to go back to the publish settings again, because you have set your settings once. Once you set it up, you just have to keep checking publish. So whenever you make a changes in your Flash file, save your file, publish your file again, otherwise your SWF, your EXEs, they will not get updated. So whenever you make change in FLA, save, publish your file. So when you go back to your folders, you will have all your files updated as per the latest changes. SWF, you can just update straight away by Control Enter by testing movie. But other formats, especially like EXEs, apps, and HTMLs, they will not get updated straight away unless you republish your file. Okay? I expect you to provide me EXEs of the projects so that without any efforts I can check them for marking purpose. Right, so that's your Flash Player details. We can even have, when you go to the stage, there is a profile which says default, and we can click on this. It shows the same settings as you can check. So either you go to the Flash Publish Settings menu, or you can just click on the stage anywhere in your Flash document, and here on the stage properties you have edit button. So when you click that, that also opens the same window which you see from Publish Settings. So either you change from here or you change from the menu bar, is same. You should know both. Okay. That's about publishing Flash in various formats.